Hello everyone and welcome to the Marathon gameplay reveal stream. This should be an interesting one. I am a big Bungie enjoyer. I love their Halo games, I love the Destiny games. Haven't played anything past that, but like Halo and Destiny has been pretty much all they've done for the last few decades, so you know. I enjoy their gameplay, they have really good gameplay, and I enjoy their stories, but I'm curious if there is even going to be much of a story around this particular Marathon game. Obviously, the old Marathon games that I haven't played, there's plenty of story in them. But this, they're making into a extraction, whatever you call it, extraction game. So I'm curious how much, like, story stuff they will inject into that. They've been doing a really cool ARG, which I've been following recently. But obviously the main game is an extraction shooter. So yeah, I'm just curious. I'm curious. I don't know if I'm gonna be. This is gonna be something that I'll be playing loads. I've never played an extraction shooter before. We will see. We will see. But anyway, we're beginning now.
All right, everyone. Hello and welcome back to Bungie HQ here in beautiful Washington, where we're coming to you live.
Not sure how long this is either.
The opportunity to share a little bit of Marathon gameplay with you for the very first time. My name's Andy. I work on the social media.
There's going to be a closed
here,
alpha that's starting up
fairly
fairly soon after this, but it'll be very hard to get into.
So make sure to go ahead and not tune out early. But no need to worry. You're not going to have to sit here and listen to me. I'm joined by some of my teammates here at Bungie to walk us through some of what we're going to be seeing today. So no time like the present. Let's get into the show. First things first, this gentleman here to my right, to your left, is Marathon's game director, Mr. Joe Ziegler.
Hello, Joe. That'll be the one that replaced Chris Barrett.
I'm doing great, thank you very much. Like, super excited to finally show something about our game, you know? We've been a little bit silent for a while, but we're hoping you'll have a lot of fun.
As you may remember, from the original Marathon reveal stream, we had Chris Barrett as game director. He is currently suing Bungie for like $50 million or something.
Tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Something crazy.
A lot of amazing people,
And
on the stage.
apparently he's been doing some not very good things at work, so he got replaced and given the boot.
Ultimately to take sort of all the ideas that we have, bring them together in a singular
Turns
experience.
out maybe you shouldn't be trying to hook up with all of your colleagues in very creepy ways.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. As we go on,
Bro's also
we're
married.
also joined by a man who's been instrumental in bringing the worlds of both games and film to
But yeah,
life.
he got replaced by Joe. Everyone
director,
seems to like
Mr.
Joe from what I've
Frost.
seen, so that's good.
Joe, for anyone, obviously you've got some fans here, but for anyone out there in the audience at home that may not know you or doesn't get a chance to work
Hello,
with you,
that's
can you
me.
tell
I
us
don't
just
know
a
you.
little bit about who you are and what you do here.
Yeah, so I'm Joe Cross. I'm franchise art director of Marathon. And,
Well, fucking big up this
my
guy
job
then,
is
because
to
I've got to
sort of
say,
set
the art
tone
has
and
been
vision,
peak.
The visual style
The visual style has
reimagining
been
this IP
fucking
and this,
awesome.
this
I
amazing
love
game.
the visuals of everything
then,
they've put out of the
make
new
sure that
Marathon.
our
I know some people are
world-class art team
mad because
is
it's not
set up
doesn't
for
look at all like the
success.
old Marathon, but like
So,
that was like
paving the
decades
way.
ago, man. they've got to come out with something fresh. The market is so much more fucking
As we go
stacked.
right on down the line, we
They have so much
without a
more
doubt, the most
competition
important
these
Andrew
days
on
than
the stage
any
here today.
game back then did.
Our gameplay director, Mr. Andrew Witz. How's it going, Witz?
So this is really
For anyone
this
out there
guy's
that may be just
showcase,
meeting you
huh?
for the first time, can you tell us
Gameplay
just a little bit
director.
about yourself?
Yeah, Andrew Witz. I'm the gameplay director. What basically means is I had to work with a bunch of awesome people to set up what the sandbox, the survival sandbox of Marathon is going to be. So that's runners, weapons and equipment, and the combatants, the UESC. They're going to be hunting players on Tau Ceti. So yeah, what up to the gameplay team? Thank you all for all your work.
And of course, last but exceptionally not least, someone who you've probably seen in Bungie Vidocs in the past and someone who's been able to help guide design here at Bungie since Halo 3. The one, the only Mr.
Since
Senior
Halo
Design Lead here,
3.
rather, the one, the only Mr. Lars Bakken.
Right, I have heard of this guy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lars, we're back.
You could say Marathon's back.
You could. I'll leave that to you, though. Well, for anyone out there in the audience who may not get that reference and is just meeting you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself and what you do here?
Yeah, my name is Lars Bakken. I'm a senior design lead on the Run team. Shout out to Run team, everyone that's out there right now. A lot of fans out there. So the Run team is consisting of, we make the maps, so the zones that you're going into. We make the activities, so we take some of the cool stuff that Andrew's team, we remix it, we add the UESC in, we make them real difficult on purpose. And then we also have the contracts team, which are the factions, the corporations that players are sort of doing deals with because they're mercenaries. And that gets a little bit down into sort of the missions and everything. And so that's the stuff I hopefully make everyone proud with.
Well, we'll get into that here very shortly, but no, thank you all for starting.
Like, look at that art in the background, dude.
Before we get started
those
as well, a quick reminder:
character
do
shots.
yourself a favor, make sure you've got your Bungie
They look
and
so
your Twitch
cool.
account linked to
It's such a fresh feeling art style. I really like it.
And if you also go ahead and subscribe to any channel in the Marathon directory, you can get a special little cat badge next to your name to go ahead and show everyone that you were here today. So go out there, find a streamer you haven't found before, and make sure and drop a sub out there and share the love. And also, if you have dropped your sub here on Marathon the Game, worry not, that money all goes to the Bungie Foundation, so thank you for helping us help them do some good out there.
Good old
and
Bungie
now,
Foundation.
We have a big show
Doing
again
good
lined
work.
up. We've got some gameplay on the
How
way
long
coming
is
up
this
very
show? I don't
shortly.
actually know.
We had a chance to go ahead and work with some creators and press very recently, and we're going to show you what they thought of
I
the
imagine
game.
the embargo
Of
for that
course,
is going to be
again,
up
I'll repeat
like
myself,
right
but we've
after
got
the
something
stream.
really great for you at the end of the show, so make sure and stick around. But again, the purpose of today is to show off some gameplay. Mr. Joe Ziegler, I'd love to hand the mic to you for this next part.
Yeah, so
I'm very
before we get
interested to
started,
see
obviously there's a
all
lot
the
to
creators'
talk about
takes
today.
on what they played.
We have a little bit of a taste to show you about what our game is about, just to kick us off. So
Okay.
we'll put some images to what we've been talking about here. So let's take a look.
Hit me. Hit me. I want to be into playing this game. I want this game to be something that I am looking forward to. But as a multiplayer only game, that is something that's like, I don't know if I will be. Like, sometimes I'm into multiplayer games. I'm playing shitloads of Marvel Rivals at the moment. But obviously, traditionally, I'm much more of a story gamer these days, so... But I do think Bungie has the best feeling shooters ever. Halo felt amazing. Destiny feels amazing. Just, they have such good gun feel.
The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run.
Cool, okay. Oh shit, they're putting a date on it. Was that September 23rd, was that?
All right, everyone, first things first, you saw that correctly. Marathon will be releasing just later this year on September 23rd, so you'll be able to ship out to Tau City very shortly. And in addition to that, coming just later this month, on April 23rd, we're going to be running a closed alpha test that you can be a part of. Now,
Closed alpha, there's that mention.
On North America, 18 plus only. So
oh well,
there's
fuck
gonna
me.
be a big chance to play up
North
front, but
America,
don't worry,
right?
there's gonna be other
I'll just
opportunities to
move.
play later. So to make sure you're caught up with all the details and you're ready to go, do yourself a favor, head over to our Discord at discord.gg/marathon.
Interesting that it's supposed to be coming in September, because
if you're here in Twitch chat with us today,
from
you've done yourself a
everything
big
we've
favor.
heard from
Members of our
like
community
people
and
talking
moderation
to
teams are gonna be
journalists and
going
stuff,
out and
they've been saying
looking
it's
for folks
probably
to
not going to be
drop
ready
posters as
this
well,
year,
make sure that you can get
but that
priority access
Sony
when the
was
alpha
really
kicks off.
pushing them
So
hard to
go
make
ahead
it
and keep an
happen
eye on your
regardless
inbox.
of the fact that
There's
they didn't
no
think it was going to be
exclamation
ready in
point
time.
or anything you need to do, though.
So this is
I'm sure it's
probably
anyway.
the fact that
But
Sony
worry
has
not.
like said, no,
Go
it has
ahead
to come
and,
out this
and
year.
done yourself a favor by being here
But I do
today.
wonder
But, let's
if it
get
will
into
be
What did we just see?
ready.
Or
if it'll get delayed.
You know, is first what we all saw.
Because yeah, the talk,
But
the
honestly,
internal
it's our
talk
first
was that
glimpse
it just
of,
won't be
some of
ready
what's
this year.
going on in
So
Marathon, you know, our
we shall
extraction
see.
that we're creating
We
over
shall
here.
see.
And it's got a little bit of everything. It's got some runners in there. It's got some weapons in there. It's got some crazy stuff happening. But yeah.
Yeah, a little taste of the weapons in there. You saw some alternate weapon actions. The flip scope is in there, so weapons are going to do more than just shoot. Obviously, it's a Bungie game. We got to like really push things. Yeah, a lot of runner abilities are in there as well. The UESC, obviously, a little taste of the UESC and what they're capable of. Yeah, a lot of awesome stuff.
And some fun world interactions too. Like
Feels
there's
crazy that like
sequence
September
where
isn't even that far
shutters
away.
go
It's
down
less than
and
half a year.
everything goes wrong for
Feels
the
like the year
team
just
that's in
began,
that
but we're already
room.
4 months in.
But that's it's
We're
pretty
less
cool
than
to
2
see.
months away from Summer Game Fest, which is like the halfway mark.
Mr. Ziegler,
How are we
so,
already
why
just
are
2
we-
months
why are
away
we
from
making
that again?
Marathon? Why is Bungie going into the action shooter space?
I mean, extraction shooters are something that are passion of all of ours. Like, we really like the idea of bringing this experience that we've all enjoyed, which is this kind of intense survival-based experience where you are frequently unsure of what's going to happen next, but you're on that adventurous ride of it. You know, we talk about it sort of like it's a horror story that's kind of unfolding before you. And testing yourself to see if you can survive it. And we really wanted to take that and sort of, I don't know, bring a lot more people into it. When you love something, you really kind of want to just, attract others to it, and so you can have a bigger party with it. And so, yeah, we've been doing a lot of work to make that happen.
Yeah, no, it shows. And Lars, obviously, Bungie's got a long history of shooters, but this is a new type altogether for us to dive into. From your side, what's it been like designing for all of this?
It's been fantastic. So when I started at Bungie, it was on the multiplayer.
Really? I thought he was going to say, oh, it's been shit,
And,
mate. It's been fucking horrendous.
I'm a competitive person in my nature. I really enjoy PvP. And so having to take that in the marathon game and think about every single angle of every design, knowing that there will be other human beings in, around, and on the other side of it has just been fascinating and really exhilarating for myself personally, and I also know for the team.
It's been really exciting to see. And obviously, you mentioned we saw a lot. We saw some runners. Mr. Witz, can you do me a favor and help introduce these 4 runners that are going to be available when the closed alpha test begins?
Yeah, for sure. We'll have 6 runners at launch, but we're focusing on the core 4 here they're going to be in the alpha. So going left to right,
I
we
imagine
have Locust.
they'll be
Locust is our
doing
soldier
seasons and
kind of
adding
fantasy or
new
soldier
runners
kit, all
over
about
time and
push
stuff.
forward gameplay, right? The first one in, trying to get as many picks as possible, right? Against either the UESC
That
or the
art is
players.
just so good, man.
Next, we have Blackbird. It's very reconnaissance-based kit, all about like figuring out where players and enemies are in general and punishing poor positioning. Glitch is like our agile disruptor kind of kit, all about pushing forward, disrupting enemy teams and what they're doing, and getting out and kind of having that kind of cycle. Void is our stealth boy, our sneaky boy, all about throwing down smokes, going a full active camo cloak into the darkness, getting some reses, and then taking some people by surprise. So yeah, this is our core 4 right now for Alpha.
Cool.
Place else to choose from out of the gate.
I would be
Joe Cross,
most drawn to
also, if anyone's not
Void,
following
I think.
Joe Cross on Twitter, do yourself a favor and do so. But you've been
Stealth
sharing some
isn't
art
my
with these
thing
runners
in
pretty
like
recently,
PvE
out
games,
there on Twitter
but in
with everyone.
PvP, if you
before
can
the
give
show,
me
we were talking
active
a little bit,
camouflage
I've
in a
heard this come up
PvP
lot,
game
but,
so
you
that
guys
I
have been
can
working off this
surprise
concept of
another
graphic
player,
realism.
that feels
Tell us a
fucking
little bit
great.
about what that is and what that means for the design here.
Yeah, it's one of our ingredients that we've sort of conjured up to help us define the visual world. For these runners, the first thing we wanted to make sure was their visual fantasy reflected the gameplay fantasy well. And then we sort of have our unique recipe of influences and inspirations for the reimagining of this world. And one of those sort of constraints we've created is this idea of graphic realism, where we kind of reduce the amount of geometry, we limit our materials, we use a lot of graphic design and color. And we sort of use it as a tool to onboard artists who are working on the project, and then it doesn't hurt to have a world-class concept team cranking this stuff out.
Yeah, that
That's,
doesn't hurt.
that's sort
No.
of the origin of a lot of these designs.
Yeah. And obviously the world of Marathon has so much legacy to it as well. As a kid who grew up playing it, I know it well myself. But like, what's it been like stepping into this world?
It's amazing. For art geeks out there, the sort of the father of the marathon visual world in a lot of ways is this guy Craig Mullins, who you see art represented on the left. Started out as a fan, then got incorporated into the IP officially by Bungie, and so his legacy looms super large. And we've always tried to, pay attention, pay homage, make sure we were doing justice. And you can see here in the center, this is kind of a proto runner. We developed early in the process to make sure that our sort of approach to graphic realism and style lined up and sort of represented that. And then on the right here, sort of an evolution into one of our actual runners here, Blackbird, with a similar fantasy and composition. So I think it's working out well, and I think we're doing something new, but also sort of looking back.
It's like a 3-panel study on how to hold the spine, right? Is what you're looking at.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah.
Is it a spine?
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, that said, if anyone out there in Twitch chat as well has any questions, go ahead and drop them in. We're going to try and answer as many as we can. We're going to be showing, again, a lot of stuff today. So if you've got anything that comes to mind, please feel free to throw it in there. Folks on the community team are going to be keeping an eye out. But you know, we've obviously got a chance to go ahead and dive a little deeper. We've done some telling. Let's go ahead and do some more showing by taking a bit of a deeper dive into some more marathon gameplay.
Let's do it.
That's what we're here for.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats.
Cool.
To
Does
scavenge the remains
does the
of a lost
voiceover guy
colony
sound like Ben
for
Starr? Am I
glory and
tripping?
fortune.
I swear the growl in his
Environments of Tau
voice
Ceti 4
gives me
are
Clive
filled with
energy.
Weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents, and in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable builds create highly dynamic and strategic teamfights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out to streamline playing with your friends. Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot.
That's a pretty long revive time right there.
And
It
if you
looked like.
believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner.
You can
No
just
two
go in
runs
solo.
Marathon
Damn.
ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends? Grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need.
Man, this
You're
does
always
look
free to
pretty cool.
experiment with
I am
team
quite into this.
compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
That was pretty good, man. That was a pretty good little extended trailer. I don't know what you'd call that little section.
All right. It's a decent amount of gameplay. All right.
That was a pretty fucking cool amount of gameplay. I am into that. I will definitely be playing that.
I think for starters, again, you know, as we touched on before the break, Bungie
I
has
will
such a
definitely
rich
be
history
giving
with
that a try.
Marathon, you know,
Probably
Joe Ross,
not
from your
as a
standpoint, facilitating
YouTube
this gameplay
game.
with your art
Like,
style.
I don't
Again,
upload
what's the
Rivals, but
approaching
I'm
this
playing the
from
shit out of
perspective?
Rivals at the
What are you
moment.
looking
But
to do?
something,
build on a legacy.
something for my off-camera time.
The narrative of Marathon is incredibly rich and like inspirational, easy sort of inspiration for art. I also love just sort of having the keys to this car from this era, working on a game from this era. I love older games. I love the way the games look from the PS1, PS2 era. So there was a lot for us, and you know, like I said, paying homage to some of the great sort of iconic artists of the time. So
yeah, and also we had some keen-eared folks in chat. I think it's Joey Wolffinder asked if this is Ben Starr. Yep, Ben Starr was the narrator.
It is Ben Starr. I fucking called it. Yes, I love Ben Starr.
He's almost an Andrew Witz, but he does his best. But all right, I'm gonna put you on the spot with a tough one, Mr. Joe Ziegler.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite runner?
Ooh, controversial question. I play a variety of them, but I will say probably the one.
Well, I'd
I
fucking
play
hope so. You're the
most
game
is
director.
Blackbird, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Any Blackbird mains out there?
Imagine if you're the game director
I
and you
like
don't
Blackbird
play
because it's
a
great
variety of
crew,
runners. Like,
runner. Like it's in terms
It's
of
literally
being
your
able to
job
provide
to
a lot
make
of
them good, you
information,
know?
provide a lot of support. It's also a great runner that's kind of helps to counter a lot of strategies that can occur, especially ambush strategies that happen. Also to catch Void out of position if Void's trying to hide. So yeah, there's a lot of
That would be me, getting caught out of position.
versatility to how you can play it.
Very fun, Mr. Witz. I think you and I share the same main. I got to ask as well. Who's your go-to runner?
Oh, I split my time between Locust. I'm a very push-forward kind of player, as Joe reminds me all the time, because I'm pushing too much, too
You don't
often.
even have a W key. It just goes.
I just love to go fast forward. That's right.
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, that push forward gameplay that Locust kind of has, right? Being like the first to try and get a pick, you know, seeing somebody out of position, going for that pick. Also, I like to play glitch a lot too. Again, like, I really love that disruption.
Damn, they've named everyone except the one that I said I would like.
An enemy crew trying to exfil, trying to extract, and then like taking like the arm cannon and just knocking them out of like the zone, and now they're trapped with me and hopefully my teammates. Joe.
I'm scanning. I'm looking for enemies. It's good, yeah.
To that same end, actually, as you guys kind of discuss the runners, Destas in chat asks, what's the pacing targets to the gameplay? Are there any movement or traversal mechanics?
There are a lot of movement and traversal
Grappling
mechanics inside
hooks.
of the game.
Give us
but
grappling
it varies,
hooks.
Your effectiveness varies per runner. Yeah.
Yeah, like everything in like we're making like a survival sandbox, which means everything kind of has to have a cost, right? And so like going, if you want to go fast, like Locust has like a super sprint, so to speak. Like they have leg jets that kind of come on to help you sprint even faster. That causes heat. So basically, it's almost like a stamina system, but we call it heat because we're these awesome mercenary cyborgs, right? Where like the body overheats, and so this character has like some mobility, but you overheat quite a bit. So that's kind of the cost that's there, and so that's what pushes us into like finding implants that maybe like expand like how much like your heat meter, and also give you more agility, so you can even go even faster, right? So yeah, there's a lot of cost in the game in terms of when we place a mobility thing in there, we really want to make sure. It's like, how does this affect the pace, and how does this affect the overall survival sandbox?
And to be fair, we're still looking at the alpha builds. We got to balance a lot of stuff because some stuff is kind of sketchy. Yeah.
No, there's a lot to learn. That's why we're doing this, right?
Yeah, I mean, and actually, while we're talking about kind of those finer details, Witz, I'd love to still kind of bug you a little bit. in Marathon, build crafting is a big deal. What does that mean in the world that you guys are
It
building?
is interesting that
Yeah,
they're
and
just
so,
like
the
doing
runners
alpha
are
stuff
essentially like a
now, and
base,
it's supposed to be
right? And so each
releasing in
runner
5
has,
months.
they have a bunch of implants.
And
that
it's
you
like a
can
lot of
find
games, it takes
that
like
do kind of wild
a
things,
year and a
like, as
half
they
to
go up
2
in
years to
rarity,
go
right?
from
There's a lot
alpha
of
to
stats, so
release.
you can increase
They're
resistance
saying
to
5
certain
months
things,
to
so
go from
like,
alpha to release
toxic
it, and
ones,
that
you can essentially
goes to
poison
show, I
whereas
think,
they're
what people was
toxins, so,
the internal
you
leaks
can
we've
build
had.
resistances to that.
People saying it just
You
wasn't
can
going to be ready
increase
this
your
year.
agility.
They're on a
There's,
fucking tight
shields,
timeline.
obviously, to make you
I hope
more
they can.
durable.
I hope they can
You
do
have
it.
Cores. Cores are really cool. They basically give you like extra passives. And at the base rarity, like they have these kind of passives that you kind of play around. At the highest rarity, they are specific to the runner kit that you have, the runner you're playing. And what they do is they really augment your abilities wildly, right? So you can, you're doing one thing and then you get like a core specifically for glitch, and now you're like, oh, my double jump is a triple jump? Like that's how much you want to kind of push that, so that gear really matters. And so builds are like completely the implants, the cores, weapons, weapon attachments. Weapons have like a pretty cool progression too. We have gold mods, which are kind of like the highest end of the attachment pool. They're essentially like exotics in our game, right? What is the exotic version of this Magnum that can do some wild stuff? So yeah, like really it's the entire package together is what the build crafting experience is in Marathon.
That's super exciting. And actually, to that same end, we got a question in chat as well from, I think, Firex is how you pronounce it. How many players are going to be in each map?
Varies per map.
Yeah, it varies per map.
Got it.
The footage that people have seen a lot of, Dire Marsh, we support up to 18 players.
Excellent. Okay, all right, so going to be room for a lot of play styles. To that same end, I know we talked a little bit about Void earlier as well. Lars, can you walk us through maybe just your play style when you're approaching any of these runs?
Sure, yeah.
And I think they're teams of 3, right?
Go
So
ahead and sell out the best
6
guys.
teams of
give away
3.
my secrets. So Void is really fun for me because it leans into this part of my personality that is like very devious. And so, if you go on a run with me, I'll be like, hey, any claymores you see, let me know. And I'm putting those in my backpack, and I'm doing crazy things like, okay, so Void has a prime ability that sends out, I think you saw it in the video, it sends like a wall of smoke that sort of like your home base when you do that. It's a portable. Because when you go in that, you become invisible. You get automatic active camo. So I'll do things like set that up to make people believe I'm doing one thing and then do another. So a lot of subversive things. I'll go in there and I'll claymore the inside, right? Someone comes in after me, they're gonna have a very bad time. But I also do things like I'll go to a place in the zone where there's high tier loot and I'll claymore it up and then close all the doors and leave and be like, I wonder if anyone's gonna show up. And then sure enough, maybe 5 minutes later I see the shield crack in the HUD and I'm like, yes, I can go back and see what's going on. So yeah, that's how I like to play.
Yeah, how about you, Joe Cross?
Go back and see what's going on. What he means is he
well,
camps.
If you know me,
He camps and waits
I'd
for it.
rather look good and lose. So I generally pick the runner with the coolest helmet, and in this lineup, I think that's clearly Blackbird. As far as my play style, I'm typically just a decoy. So that's it.
It's like, Joe, go over there.
Yeah, exactly. I am
Look
the
really
worst.
great.
Yeah, exactly. Just stand in the open
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the end of my run story.
Fair. Well, we want to thank you all for your collective sacrifice. We appreciate it. So actually, to that same end, obviously we do a lot of play testing here internally. Witz, I know you mentioned you've got a folder of some of your best plays, but what are some of your most memorable runs so far?
Some of my memorable runs are really when.
Okay, we need to get back to
I
gameplay
think
now.
I'm gonna be doing
This is
one
too
thing,
much
right?
chat.
Like, okay, I'm gonna do a
I don't wanna know
contract,
about your
I'm gonna
most
go
memorable
here,
run,
I'm gonna
like-
go into this room, gonna interact with this device, and I think.
And
it's
then
like,
I killed
I'm
someone.
safe,
Wow,
like,
that's
I'm gonna
crazy.
do,
What a
like,
memorable
routine
run.
thing. I
Can we
get
see
in and
gameplay
get out
again?
If I'm like smart about it and really kind of listen for what's going on. Like there's no UESC around, there's no players around. And oftentimes there's another player, like the best moments is there's another
Talk to
crew
us about,
that are going for the exact same
the
thing.
AI
And there's
enemies
this
in
moment of,
addition
like,
to
you're
the
about
player
turn
enemies.
the key to get into a locked room, and then the other team is right there, and you're like, oh crap. Like, and then you're like, this is all out war in like a hallway that seems to be like a regular hallway, but now it's just like it just gets crazy. And so I think those are the peaks that happen where there's these tense moments you're trying to do something that lead to these very quick crescendos where these mercenaries kind of going crazy, and like all these players are jumping in.
You make it sound like you're playing so carefully, but you're not.
Listen, the tactics are happening fast.
Okay.
They're
It's
going,
just processing power.
they're going, the math is going. Like, it's happening.
It's improvisation.
We also know that this game is not free to play,
I mean, runs can obviously
which
entail
puts
a lot,
it in
but we
a
also have a question
little bit
from
of a
Captain
rough
Sharky
position in the
218.
market these
Is
days.
loot going to be just weapons, or is there going to be more for people to go after while they're out there in Tau City?
It is a tough sell to make people pay for a multiplayer shooter
There's implants, there's cores.
when
there's
you've got stuff like,
equipment.
again, Marvel Rivals,
grenades.
completely free to play.
Consumables, Yeah.
Talk about grenades.
Yeah, there's grenades.
I mean,
We have a bunch of different types of grenades in the game as well that you can
Hopefully, it won't be too expensive. If they try and sell it as like a full $70, then that's horrendous. I'm guessing it'll be more like 40, like Helldivers. And obviously, Helldivers was a success. It can work.
We call valuables. but,
However,
there's
you also have,
times
like,
when you're
Concord.
running low on money and
Now,
you're
obviously,
like,
this doesn't
I just need to do a
look
valuables run right
as
now, and I
rough
need to
as
pick up
Concord did.
these things and get my money
I
and
certainly
my
think this will
space
have
bank.
quite a big audience.
Space
I
bank,
just
yeah.
am wondering
That
how
actually is a good
limited it will
segue
be
from,
by
and
that
I'm not
cost of
making this name
entry.
up, Ballin' Hobo asks, what do I do with the loot when I extract? Like, why does it matter in the long run?
Yeah, there's a variety of reasons. So a lot of it was related to sort of our factions and contract system. But if you want to talk a little bit about that, Lars.
Yeah. I mean, we've got this entire system we call factions. You're doing contracts, they're like missions, and you are being greeted originally by AI representative because you are a mercenary. You don't really have allegiance to anyone. They are going to pay you to do these jobs, and so they'll give you these missions to do. And as you're doing these missions, like Andrew said, sometimes you'll run into danger. But the cool thing about, I think, a lot of the faction and the contract system is like you could complete the, download the agricultural survey from this one area on one of the zones, and you're doing the thing, and you've sort of done it. So even if you die, you've still made progress there, which I think is a really cool aspect of that feature. But then there's also this other meta layer where
Right, so you don't have to actually extract to take it with you. It still counts as done, even if you get killed after doing the data thing. I guess you're transmitting it from the point.
Like that.
I was gonna say you're trying to get as much loot as possible to meet the challenge of the world, right?
Yeah.
Like essentially, different missions get harder over time, right? Which means you want to have more loot on you so you can survive longer. So just in general, be able to do fight all the different hostile entities in the world. Like get through there's a POI on a zone that's heavily fortified by UESC and all of the different units that are there, the snipers, the assault units. Like you want to be able to not only withstand that and players. So there's a lot of reasons why you want to get loot in the game.
And honestly, like a lot of the loot translates into things like upgrades, that you utilize through the factions. But there's also an in-game store called the Black Market where you can use a lot of your currency and things like that to actually re-equip yourself if you go on a bad run, or to upgrade yourself if you need anything from that space. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get a lot of good loot out. I don't think I'm ever short of reasons to get loot out.
That just says something else about me, though. I'm just a loot goblin. So sometimes extraction shooters also can be seen as kind of hardcore and maybe tough to get into. What are some of the things that you guys are doing?
Tarkov definitely does not appeal due to that
I think
specific
there's a couple things
thing.
that we could talk about. One is we are obviously investing, besides doing a little bit more onboarding in the front end so players can understand a little bit about what the nature of the game mode is. We're also doing a lot to make combat something that's a little bit more approachable, but also just equally as deep and have pretty wide things. But I think Andrew could talk about it,
Yeah, we want to make, this is like a Bungie shooter, right? We want to make sure it's approachable. We nail those fantasies. Every button press feels awesome, right? And so really trying to bring that
Button equals awesome.
Morph the Bungie action game into in the survival space where, again, everything kind of costs something, right? Getting shot, you're not going to have a limb system where your limb's broken or anything, but you will guns do stopping power, right? Which they can knock you out of sprint, they can slow you down, right? Status effects are still in the game, and so if you are hit with a chem grenade, right, you're gonna be toxed. You can be immobilized, right, which really slows you down. You can be overheated.
I like
All
that
these
stuff. I
things,
really
that pushes
am
you
not
into
into
consumables
the whole
and making sure you
you've
have
broken
answers
your
for
right
things that happen.
hand.
So
You need
we're
to
trying
patch
to
up
make
your
sure
right
that
hand.
we
Oh,
keep
and now
the
your left
depth
leg
of
is
the
gone.
survival
And it's just
game, but
the whole
approachability of the action
management
game,
of
right?
individual
That's how we're
body
trying to marry
parts
that
shit.
together. In
Fuck
addition
no.
to that,
So
if
I'm
you-
glad they're
if
not
you
doing
have
that.
some bad runs, right? And you don't have a lot of, you see your loot kind of going down. We have the sponsored kits. It's kind of talking in the video earlier where it's a package of gameplay items like weapons or equipment or maybe a shield or something or consumables. That's kind of like the floor for what we think you can be really you can be capable in the environment and actually like fight other players that actually are kitted out. So you're never feeling like the goal is that you can always clutch. Even if you find somebody who's completed kitted out in like really high-end gear, because that's your payday, right? That's like the beauty of the moment of like, oh my God, I took this player, and oh, they have the best shield in the game. Hell yeah, you know?
Yeah. Hurts. I mean, obviously, gonna be a lot of good pointers for folks at home taking notes for when they get a chance to get into the alpha. But we'd be remiss if we also didn't mention how a big part of what we do here at Bungie is working alongside our community, which is why we've also had the chance since about 2022 to work with hundreds of different creators in our community as well, to go ahead and get some of their feedback. So to those of you out there that have joined us, thank you very much for your time and your opinions. They mean a lot. But no need
some of them a lot longer than that.
We actually just last week.
Some of them a lot longer than 2022. Dr. Lupo has been working on this, helping out playtesting since 2017. That's how long this has been in development. Dr. Lupo says he first got involved in 2017, I'm pretty sure. Oh, speaking of, there he is.
Down the ball again and 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 again.
This is a new world. This is a different take on an extraction shooter.
No! No!
Hey, Hidden Xperia! Love Hidden Xperia. He does some fucking great Halo videos. Def recommend Hidden Xperia if you are a Halo enjoyer. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing these creators once the embargo's up, which presumably will be today. Looking forward to hearing what they have to say that isn't like, you know, because obviously this stream, they're going to be gassing it up because it's promotional, but let's see what people have to say when they're not actually forced to be positive.
Look daddy up, let's go. Okay, I am ready and up.
Scarrow, nice. Like Scarrow.
Oh, we are bringing some money in this time.
Quick read.
Oh, you looking around?
Yeah, I'm gonna see who we got in the raid with.
Alrighty. Bio research is right next to us. You want to do the intercepts? Yeah. You just want to grab that real quick?
Okay, is that the whole map? Okay. I guess it looked like that was the whole map. It looked fairly small, honestly.
Be a good one.
But maybe that was deceiving. Oh, nice air dash. Well, no, you fucked that, actually.
So, for the gang, there is fall damage, and it is severe if you drop.
I got a mod earlier that like graphically reduces it though. So there are ways to reduce it.
I may have just exploded my kneecaps.
If you dash right before you hit the ground, don't take
it saves it.
It'll break the fall, yeah. Happens to the best of us.
AI on the right.
Good aim.
More AI inside the little shrubbery compound anyway.
A hostile unit is calling for reinforcements.
Okay, cool. So AI enemies, they are quite plentiful by the looks of it.
Okay, still heading to field maintenance.
Yep.
Oh, I got AI over here like 20 feet.
Oh my god, he didn't jump up.
Was that a sensor? Did I just hear someone say that someone fucked stuff up and they got censored? I'm pretty sure. No saying fuck on the live stream.
I need some bits ammo. Guys, find me. There's a green punk right there.
There's like 36 underneath.
Oh yeah, here I think.
Clear. Down one.
I hit one for the kill, but I'm
1, 2.
Down.
That's all of them.
Right. Yeah. Actually, you want to do the HDD? Over here. Compared to what I do.
I love the little skull symbol when you get the kill.
Right now,
the skull symbol looks satisfying.
AI outside first. They're just gonna beam us if we don't get rid of them.
Yep. What? That's a purple one.
The first time we swapped to Hidden Xperia's actual gameplay, and it's when he's down. That's funny.
So the one ones that fire like 5 knees are lethal.
The Grenadiers, yeah. They're
Yeah,
pretty,
yeah.
pretty.
This is interesting because this is a really big fight against AI here. But presumably at any time another team of players could show up and fuck you up from behind, kind of thing. But this is not a small fight against the AI enemies. This is a big fight.
Yeah, I'm inside with them. When you have the mechanics kit, it doesn't take anything. You're just good. Yeah. I'm unlocking the box. Yeah, dropping in. Big ones too. They've got long shots in too. Oh. Yeah. That's gotta be. It's gotta be.
I've played one shield. There's a loot up there, huge, absolute. Oh my god, I'm almost dead. I just realised.
Where are they?
They're on the balcony, like south 200.
I got one knocked. I got one knocked.
Nice. That's
annihilated, dude. Oh my god.
That was cool. Rush in with the shield up and then shotgun.
There's a sniper,
freaking no! That's
Ooh.
it's a crime! Kill him, he's a fiend, dude.
I'm coming to you, Ben.
Yeah, I see him.
Don't underestimate this guy.
Oh my god, that bitch! He killed 2, I think it's 1v1. Ben, you knocked 1, I knocked another.
Good stuff. I literally only have a sniper.
Oh, nice shots. God damn.
A unit is signaling for reinforcements.
Dr. Lupo's pretty good. I mean, you'd hope so. He's literally been playing this game for like 8 years. Obviously, it wasn't actually a playable game to begin with, but
quiet for an awful long time. I reckon he's gone to res.
he's been in the process of helping to make the game for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Tell me if they're red.
That's okay. Yeah, he's holding the angle at a distance.
Sniped a sniper.
The guy behind Dr. Lupo just taking pics. That must be so distracting if you're trying to play and you've got a guy trying to shove a camera in your face.
I'm underneath.
This is definitely going to require coordination. I know there's the ping system they said, but like, you know, ping system doesn't really do shit compared to saying what you actually need to say over voice comms.
No, if they're close. I got no tags. Oh.
There.
You got eyes?
Yeah, A1.
Oh, is that him up there? Is that him up there? Is he upstairs inside?
Yes, sorry, he was. Yeah, hear him. Or is that USAC?
No, you said guy right there. They were shooting something in here.
I think they kind of built a ringer group, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
They built a god squad, you could say. I feel like we might be the god squad.
That was good. That was a good run.
Yeah.
That was cool. I'm into it. I am into it.
We got knife some AI and grab some gunners.
We can go to field maintenance.
I'm curious what they were saying to wait around to the end for, because they were like, there's something cool at the end, and I was assuming that they were going to be like, you can sign up for a chance to get into the closed alpha, but then they mentioned the closed alpha already. So what is the cool thing at the end that they're going to be showing?
Where did I just hear that thought?
Get fucking knifed?
I knifed one.
I want to see a skill up run. I know skill up was at this.
Oh my god, I'm dead.
I want to see how good skill up is.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's sucking me.
Stop sucking him.
Pardon?
Purple shield.
UESC reinforcement signal detected.
I found a purple enemy. I heavy knifed it 4 times and had to dump a full mag into it.
Really?
Yeah.
This was definitely a good shout for them to show off a proper gameplay section this way, rather than having like, you know, canned studio dialogue. You know, those old game showcases where it was like clearly scripted dialogue and stuff, and it just always sounded awful. Whereas this is, they invited a shitload of people over to play, and then they just recorded them play. And so it's actual, you know, actual dialogue that you would actually have while playing a game, not the fucking scripted shit that always just makes everyone want to die when they hear it.
Huh? Like
the cash players?
Yeah, I don't know.
Players.
Is it just me or does that gun look kind of shit?
Purple shield, I knocked one.
I saw purple shield dude come around the corner and knew he was immediately fucked. It's funny, I felt more invested in the first game we watched, and I'm pretty sure that's just because I know those players. Whereas I don't know any of these three.
Glitch is moving. Behind, yeah, Glitch is behind you at the moment. White shield, white shield.
Oh, she's scared. She's scared.
Down.
Very good.
Very, very nice. I called the purple. Yeah, I want the frickin' purple. Here's a green on this
Purple shield? Who has that?
Me.
The big items, the big drops, the stuff that's like really high value, they're like, I have to get this out.
Doesn't matter if I'm playing Lucas or Void or Glitch. If I've got a better aim, I'm gonna win. There's no other extraction shooter like that where I can have that kind of gameplay.
When people find out about some of the secrets and stuff, they are going to lose their mind.
1, 2, 3. Playing so far has just been refreshing, I'd like to say. Everything felt really locked in.
This being sort of the next full
Big up, Jeff.
Is an exciting moment.
Hello, Big Jeff. See you in 2 months, mate. Hope you've got some fucking Silksong gameplay to show me with a release date. That'd be great. That was a fucking lengthy gameplay showcase.
Obviously,
they've done a lot more here than I was expecting. I was expecting this was going to be like a 15-minute stream.
It's been a great time getting to set that up, and of course, I promise I'm not saying this just because I work on the social media team here, but if you head over to our YouTube channel...
I really thought this was going to be like a 15, 20-minute stream or something.
So YouTube.com/MarathonTheGame is where to find us.
We're 40, almost 50 minutes in, and there's been a lot of
but,
gameplay. Good stuff.
Obviously, again, like we talked about before that video, we're familiar with working with our community really closely, but have we ever done it this early or at this scale before?
What do you mean this early? You're 5 months away from your supposed launch date.
Since the Halo
well, okay,
days,
no.
And,
they've had people like Lupo in since very, very early, so I guess that's what they were referring to. It sounded like they were referring to just this thing that just happened, but...
And on this game in particular, yeah, we brought people in, players in, much earlier into the process than I think we ever have before, and it's given us really good insight. You know, we tell them when they show up, be brutally honest, because that's how we learn, that's how we understand what needs to change, what needs to get better, and I think it's been really great.
That's been a ton of fun. I mean, even again, like, these folks were all here last week. You guys were in there with them, some of you playing as well. What was it like?
Oh, it was super exciting, yeah. I mean, like, when you have a lot of, well, there was a combination of players who we've been engaging with for a long time, and some players who were brand new. And it was great to see sort of like the mix of the both, especially when you got to some higher level skilled players who just joined in and immediately got it and started destroying everybody, like you know, like Tens and, you know, Lupo was in there, and but yeah. Yeah, you had some pretty awesome moments, didn't you?
Yeah, so it was pretty amazing to jump in, and I'm gonna throw Nick under the bus for a moment here. Like, apparently he was on the team with Brian and Jeff Keighley, and they were not having success. Y'all were like destroying them, the creators. And, yeah, it's probably your team that was destroying
Jeff
them.
was getting fucking
So I was brought in
wrecked.
as like a hired,
Unfortunate.
hired gun to help get Jeff through, and
Thank you.
Oh,
I
that's
did my
funny.
job.
Mission accomplished, Lars. Yeah.
Something that he's used to, obviously. Also, though, you were saying you were observing a little bit as well, maybe not playing quite as much. What was it like, from your perspective, getting to see all these folks jump in and play the game for the first time, some of them?
I mean, it was awesome. It's awesome, like playing the game for so long, right? And seeing other people play the game is just a great feeling, right? For like the whole team. You get to see.
It is quite funny that Jeff was part of that, actually. Now that I think about it, it's like all streamers and YouTubers and creators like that, and then Jeff, who is obviously deeply involved in the industry, but not so much on the like content creation side. I mean, you could call SGF and Game Awards like
so fun, but
content creation, I guess, but it's not really what you mean when you say that.
It was like a great time, but also really tense.
It's kind of funny that he was there.
There was two crews that were fighting under the dire marsh map. There's a bunch of tunnels and stuff like that, and they were fighting in the tunnels. And the fight was literally like almost 1-by-1s, like 3 and 3, like constantly moving towards each other and fighting in the hallway. The person in the front dropping meds for people in the back and changing positions. And that fight went into like little vents as well. So it was like this it was this hilarious chase that was like it was super tense because you didn't know exactly whether you were going to get third party, and they were just the volume of the room kept on going up from those two crews.
And for those who don't know terminology, getting third partied is when another group, a third group, comes into attack two groups that are already fighting each other.
Yeah. And you, again, we were mentioning you got to play. Were there any other creators you got to dive in with?
Oh yeah, I was on a team with Valkyrie and Katamina, and we had a lot of fun. There was like a couple moments where we bunkered down.
I'm surprised they didn't show Valkyrie gameplay. She's probably one of the biggest creators there.
But we basically created like a little claymore nest down there, and so we were baiting them down into
like
it.
Valkyrie is one of the most popular streamers in the world.
I'm telling you, the claymore strats are good. Yeah. Don't sleep on claymores. They're
pretty solid.
Yeah.
Lars is like, I know.
Yeah.
So even in addition to these creators, the legacy of Marathon's community goes so long and goes so far rather. As someone who's played a lot of Aleph 1 in the past as well myself, back on my Titanium G4 PowerBook so long ago, bringing in the Aleph 1 team was really, really exciting. You guys got a chance to work with them as well, isn't that right?
Yeah, I mean, it's super exciting to sort of connect to the heritage of Marathon, right? Like to keep that alive as we're sort of building this new world. And so working with the Aleph 1 team has been really awesome with the Marathon Classic on Steam. Is the release that they had, as well as the Marathon Classic 2, I think, is on Steam as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, both of those, it's like sort of connecting the threads, if that makes sense, sort of remembering the past as we're sort of building this new, re-envisioning in a lot of ways of what Marathon is.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on this topic as well, about the dangers of the world, we do have a question from Twitch chat. Are there dangerous PvE encounters? Obviously, you've mentioned that the UESC is out there, and you should underestimate them at your own peril.
I mean, I feel like we just saw in that video
threats that await players.
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
stuff could be pretty dangerous.
UESC security units that are out there. There's a bunch of different types that do different things, so watch out for them. We also have ticks, which are these wonderful, surprising, explodey.
Are those the little red creatures we saw?
They run at you, explode on you, and you have to shoot the nests actually to get rid of them essentially. Otherwise, they'll keep coming. And there's a bunch of hazards and stuff that are like going to be on the map as well. Like we have a bunch of like tox rooms and all kinds of surprises that await players. And in the alpha there's a few, but
what's the scariest UESC unit to you?
The scariest unit? The Ghost Commander for me, for sure. The Ghost Commander, their ability is like they go into active camo and they actually have clone. They have a bunch of like clones that go out there, so you're not sure which one to shoot.
Yeah, that sounds fucking awful.
By the time you recognize which one is actually the real one, right? It's like it may be over for you, but that's one. The sniper, also love the sniper as well. We really want to have these prolonged sniper fights that are really great against the UESC, and if you manage to really push them and they notice you're pushing, they'll punish you for that too. So, definitely be careful of these units. Tread carefully.
Not to be trifled with, right?
And the recruits, honestly, they have this rush down that they do. If you're not too careful in knowing where they're going to be flanking you and rushing you down from, we're purposely making them these formidable foes that you can't get treasure out of the world easily, and they're guarding it, and they're doing a pretty damn good job.
And you can't ignore them either. Once they're on your set, you kind of got to figure out a way.
Yes. Exactly.
Also, too, we've got another question from, I believe, Shebsky. Can a team be composed of any number of runner types, like 3 Blackbirds, for example?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep.
There's no restriction on how you assemble your crew. You can all play the same. You can create a meme comp if you want. Or you can diversify a little bit, and sort of try to use each other's utilities. But we've seen them all. It's been really cool to see kind of
Got to
the different
imagine
combinations we've
that
seen.
coming in
You may
as
never
3
know,
of the
some
same
those 3 different
person
players
is
that are
not
playing Blackbird,
not
they
what
may
you
have
want to
very
be doing.
different builds and what they're gearing towards in Blackbird, right? Like they may be some of them, like one of them may actually have implants that allow them to go in active camo. That's not a specific thing for a runner, so we're purposely trying to make it so that you can diversify.
I did see the shield wall comp, which is like basically 3 locusts in the playtest from last week. But yeah,
let's go. Yeah. So again, obviously, it's been so much fun to hear you guys even talking about this game and the experiences you've had. You've been building a world that's really ripe for players to tell their own stories in. Again, with the closed alpha on the way on April 23rd.
I wonder if the announcement
some
at
of
the
them
end
to
will
jump
be
in.
the
What are some of the stories
announcement
you're
of
most
a
excited for them
future
to get to dive
open
in and
beta
tell
date.
themselves?
So many.
Probably in
there's so many
like
different
June or
stories that
something.
I think are gonna,
If it's coming out in
we're looking
September,
forward to seeing
they wouldn't do an
especially
open
ones
beta
that we've never even
that
seen before. But
soon, so probably
getting
June.
onto the planet.
I wonder
honestly,
if that's
just
what the
trying to
announcement at the end will be.
survive amongst all of the different threats that exist there, the dying. When our trail says death, it's death. There's a lot of death in the game. The learning from it, the challenging yourself, the getting back up and trying to do something new. It's gonna be exciting. I'm sure there's plenty of other things.
I'm curious, Mr. Cross. What are you expecting?
I'm had the fortune to launch Destiny and now Marathon. It's always amazing to put something out into the world that you've been working on, sort of in a bubble for 6 years or something like that, and have the players experience the visual world for the first time is amazing. Introducing the IP into the world, sort of beyond the game. Sort of the culture it creates. Always excited to see like what the fans tell us what the game is and what the metas are and what the IP is, and so that exchange is always amazing.
Yeah, check out the Discord. It's getting wild in there right now. Wits, how about you? Anything come to mind on your side?
I'm just really excited for folks to discover the content and play with it in interesting ways. We've been making this meal for a bit. It's just time to see folks play, right?
Yeah.
Like we've been making the sandbox for a bit. We've been working together on all the activities and everything in the world, right? It's just going to be exciting to see people react to it organically. And
here's me reacting to it organically.
I'm also curious to see which runner will be the crowd favorite, out of the end. I have theories.
I know you have many theories.
Yeah.
Chat, Discord, let us know. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking.
Absolutely.
Probably Blackbird out of the 4 we've seen, but they
brings
said they're
us
launching
to
with 6.
Just about the conclusion of what's been a very
So what's the last
action-packed show.
announcement
So for
then?
starters, guys, thanks so much for
Open
being
beta
here. Really
date
appreciate
in a
it.
couple of months.
Thank you so much, and thank you everybody out there. Like our team is literally sitting behind these cameras here, and they're amazing. Like you should give yourselves a hand, for putting together.
So yeah, it was an hour-long showcase. Cool. Definitely longer than I was expecting.
Also, there's an immense amount of staff here that has been super gracious and kind to come and help work with us on this. So just want to make sure all of you, let's give you a hand too. You've been doing an amazing job. Thank you.
That's right. So again, as we noted at the top of the show, coming up at the very, very end, we've got a very special surprise. So go ahead and do yourself a favor and stick around all the way through till the end. But again, a huge thanks, Joe Ziegler, Joe Cross, Andrew Witz, and Lars Bach. And thank you all for being here today. And of course, again, to echo Ziegler, thank you so much to the entire dev team here at Bungie. Thank you so much for being here today. Whether you're here with us in person or you're at home, it's your contributions that make Marathon possible. So truly, thank you. It's honestly humbling to be here today. And again, of course, the crew here, thank you all so much for all of your hard work. It's been incredible seeing this stage come up so quickly, rather. So thank you so much. It's been a gargantuan effort, and it's all thanks to your efforts. And most importantly, again, to all of you fine folks out there for joining us today.
Hello,
it's such
that's
a privilege
me.
for us to get the opportunity to share what we've been working on, and it matters most when you show up and join us. We know you have busy days, and we're thankful to be a part of it. So thank you for joining us here on this Saturday morning. And of course,
I'm not really that busy on a Saturday, mate. I've just been gaming. I've just been recording.
Scarrow and Mr. Raffle Waffles, Milo, out there.
Really?
The show ends, so go ahead and tell them we said hello when you get a chance to drop into their chat. But As has become kind of a tradition here at Bungie with our streams, we've saved just one more special thing here for you at the end. Now, we've told you a lot about the game so far, but we haven't had a chance to really touch on the narrative just yet. And we're really
a narrative
excited
thing
to build a story that's innovative in the extraction shooter space, both in and out of the game. And we'd love to show you a glimpse of that now. So we've had the opportunity.
Please do. That's more interesting than a beta to me.
Director Alberto Mielgo to go ahead and show you just a bit of a snapshot of what life is like on Tau Ceti. So we hope you enjoy, but in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see y'all Starside.
That is a cool opening shot. Very cool opening shot. Meteor shower, was that? Unfortunate. Whoa. Very unfortunate. Jesus Christ. Didn't look like it was that close. Huh? What is happening? Man, if they can actually put... Whoa, what is that? If they can put proper narrative stuff into an extraction shooter, if you can get proper story in a multiplayer game, I'm so in. What the fuck? I'm so in just based on this trailer, actually. Hello, Glitch.
I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that it sculptor well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless thing that mocked them, and the heart that fed, and the heart that fed."
Welcome once again. Once again. As the new shell.
Some cosmetic stuff, cool.
Just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion. Sekaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell.
Every time they say Sekaguchi, I think they're saying Sakaguchi.
I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract.
Father of Final Fantasy.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item? That's my lucky charm. Yeah. Supposed to be my lucky charm.
Lock in. This has so much sauce. Like, they absolutely covered this in sauce.
Yeah, that's my mom. That's your mom. Now, consider this. Do you recognize this child?
The fucking, like, not to shit all over Concord, but like, the reveal of Concord and how fucking bland every character and every interaction and everything to do with that game looks compared to just the fucking insane amounts of source, everything about these characters and this world and just like the art style, everything. It's just night and fucking day. It's actually wild. This game is going to be successful, even with its presumable $40 price tag. This game is definitely going to be successful.
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
It's a question of how successful, but a baseline level of success is guaranteed, I feel, at this point. They've definitely done well with this reveal.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
It's not my business.
And this music is? You'll have a tough time finding a buyer.
Good. It's not for sale. Give it to me.
Whoa! Pop goes the weasel. F. Dude, that was one of my favorite like trailers I've seen in a while. Genuinely.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain. Round the decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless and bare. Boundless. The lone and level sand stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
I don't know. Is that me?
Cool shit, man. That's a lot of names. A lot of people worked on that. That's it. I think that's the end. I do believe. Join the Discord to sign up for the alpha, but it's going to be very limited. I think the rumor was low 5 figures of places. So what, like 10, 20k? And there's probably going to be like hundreds and thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands of people signing up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm guessing you're unlikely to get in if you sign up. I'm probably just gonna wait for an open beta. We will see. Please disperse. Is there anything actual? Like, The fact that it is still saying new things, like please disperse, makes me kind of curious to stay and see if there's actually anything after. But no, it seems like that's it. But yeah, no, I think this was a very strong showing. They showed a lot of actual real gameplay. Very cool stuff. I am very interested. I love that final trailer, which is obviously like not... the final bit is obviously like the least representative bit of the whole thing. So, what are we just panning across the studio now? So yeah, that's not like... It depends what they do, because they said that was a look at the narrative, right? So, like, how much narrative stuff are they actually going to be doing with the game is the question. Because I'm very in on more of that, but... Bro having to dash in front of the camera. But yeah, I think they did very well. I think this is going to... When it releases in September, I think it's going to do really well so long as it's ready, man. It's just the fact that they're only, like, going into alpha now, right? I'm a little bit worried about how tight that timeline is going to be. Because, yeah, supposedly people were saying it won't be ready this year, and Sony are very much forcing it to be made ready this year, even though they don't have the time, and it seems like that is true. It seems like that's the September release date. They're pushing for it, so we will see. We will see. I hope they can do it. They really need to prove, they really need to prove their 3.5 billion purchase worth it to Sony. Because recently, Sony's just been firing half of Bungie. Like, that's cool. Bungie is literally like 50% smaller now than it was when Sony bought them a few years ago. Massive layoffs. So, we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Are they? I'm like half stalling because I don't know if anything else is going to happen here. They just keep panning around. And I don't want to miss anything cool that they show at the end if there's, like, a secret one more after the one more, you know? But, definitely looks like this is it. Okay, I'll start outroing. I think this is it. I think we're done. Okay. So, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're going to try and get alpha access. It's probably going to be NDA to fuck, I imagine. But, like, if you're letting 5 figures worth of people in, someone's gonna break that NDA. So, like, content creators don't break NDAs, but Joe Public getting into an alpha, yeah, those NDAs gonna get broken. So, we will see what more news comes out. But yeah, release supposedly only 5 months away, so very interesting. And September is also a risky bet. Like, you know the reason why we do not have any other games that are slated to come out in September right now? Because GTA 6 is supposed to come out this year. Now, I do not believe GTA 6 will come out this year, but it's supposed to. And September, October time is when they would be releasing, presumably, if it does come out this year. So, every publisher has been really worried about putting any hard dates around September, October time. So, Bungie are kind of being ballsy here. But obviously, it's a different audience. A extraction shooter compared to, you know, the fucking... Well, is it a different audience? Because every fucker plays GTA. It's like the most successful game ever, almost. It's like one of... It's like Minecraft, GTA. Those like top 2, I think. And Tetris. But like, yeah, it's risky. We'll see. Anyway, that is it for me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you have, you could leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you for whatever the next reaction is. Maybe Jeff's Summer Game Fest. We will see if there's anything in the next couple of months before that. And obviously the other streams around that time. There will be, I'm sure, PlayStation Showcase. There will be, I think Xbox has already announced a couple days after Jeff's show, I think, is the Xbox Showcase. All of that good stuff coming up in just a couple of months. Looking forward to that. And yeah, hope you are too. That is it. Thanks for watching. See you then.